everyone, what's going on? And on today's vlog, we have Forest Fighters from Real Deal Games. Let's get nutty. Woo! Hey Sarah, how's it going?
I'm well.
So, what are we playing today?
Today we're playing Forest Fighters, which is a 2 to 5 player deck building game where we are forest fighters. We're little creatures in the forest, and we are trying to amass a large collection of acorns or take out our competition.
Well,
either one of those is going to win us the game. Either you eliminate the other players through battle, or if no one is eliminated by the time the stack of acorns runs out, then the game ends and whoever has the most acorns wins.
interesting.
So it's a fairly standard deck builder. Deck builders are games where you start with a deck of cards, and typically like they're identical decks of cards. So Nick and I both have the same deck of cards right now. And there are different kinds of deck builders, but essentially, usually in a deck builder, there is money. There are cards that are worth money, so you can buy more cards. And then there are cards that let you fight. And sometimes you're fighting like some sort of character in the game. Sometimes you're fighting the other players. In this game, we are fighting each other.
Okay.
So, it's fairly standard for deck builders, as far as, like, if you're familiar with deck builders, you'll know that usually you start with 10 cards in your starting deck, you shuffle the cards, you draw 5 cards, on your turn you play out the cards in any order you want, but you usually have to play all the cards. When you're done, you discard all your cards, you draw a new hand of 5. When you get through your deck and you have your discard pile sitting off to the side, when you need to draw a card and you can't, you shuffle your discard pile and it becomes your new deck. When you acquire new cards, they go to your discard pile, and then you shuffle them into your deck, and that's how you get the new cards that you've purchased out. So it's fairly standard deck builder for all of those things. In this one, we are these adorable little woodland creatures, and there are 3 types of cards that we will start with every game. There are the acorns, blackberries, and forager squirrels. So those are like the typical, they're always available. And everything I'm saying about this game is specifically for the 2-player game. So it can go up to 5 players, but the setup and everything that I'm talking about for this game is for a 2-player game. So we have those 3 types of cards that are available all the time. And then we have to make sure that of a select few factions of cards, we've chosen at least one of those factions. And then we choose 11 other random factions. So there are the 3 standard cards here, then there are 12 other types of cards that we could buy and add into our deck. And there are more in the box. And we didn't know anything about the game when we sat down. I mean, I'd read through the rule book and stuff, but we didn't really know like how it played or what it felt like or anything like this. So we just sort of randomly selected the 12 sets of cards that we're playing with here. But there's some really cute artwork, and we did play one practice game to just kind of wrap our heads around the concepts that are in this particular deck builder. And I think it's really cute. I thought at first it was going to be sort of a tug of war kind of thing, but it wasn't. It didn't feel that way as much as I thought that it was going to, which I'm really glad of, because those kinds of games where it's just a constantly like 2 steps forward, 1 step back kind of thing, they really grate on my nerves. So I just don't have a lot of patience for 2 steps forward, 1 step back in a game. But I'm really glad it didn't actually feel that way. I also thought that it might be a fairly short game because we're only playing with 10 acorns. So I was like, man, 10 acorns, it doesn't seem like a lot. It feels like, that's one of the end game conditions is that the deck of acorns runs out. I was like, if we there's only 10, it's going to happen really fast. But it felt long enough for me to get to, sort of flesh out my deck a little bit and
pick cards, choose what you kind of wanted,
cards and that kind of thing. So it was fun. I enjoyed our sort of learning game, and we're going to do it again. And this time we know just sort of the flow of the game and what these cards kind of do. So yeah, I'm excited to play it again. I think it's really cute. It does have a little bit of an unpolished look to it. I believe this is an indie designer and or an indie publisher. And there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't have quite the level of polish that, a well-known designer, a well-known publisher might have on their games. But I think that the artwork is really cute, and I think the gameplay is not like broken or anything like that. So no worries if it just looks a little unpolished.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get into Forest. Oh my gosh, the Forest Fighters Mercy from the Game Deal.
No, I think it's Real Deal.
Real Deal.
Games.
Oops,
Yeah,
that's my
Real
bad.
Deal Games.
Real Deal Games. Because so let's get to it. We'll come back at mid game from So toodles. Hello.
Hi.
So we are about halfway through already. We've already picked up 5 acorns between the two of us, and Sarah just ransacked my acorn storage for more acorns because the Weasel Commander had his Weasel gang, and they were like, "Oh yeah!" I was like, "Oh no!" But I like the speed of this game a lot. It's pretty fast, and the replayability is there because there's other.
The box time says 45 minutes, but I feel like
we're zooming past this. We're flying, and it's only 2 players, 2 experienced. So this is 2 experienced gamers that are playing this game right now that have we really enjoy deck builders, so it's going pretty fast. We know what we want to do, so we do it. We've played our warm-up game, so like, okay, we understand what we need to do, and we're getting our cards that have worked. There was no specific, you need to use these cards, like specific, like first time, so we just picked a bunch of cards, and for just picking a bunch of cards, they were, it was pretty good. So Sarah probably is winning right now. But yeah, I'm really liking the artwork and just some of the cards. Barn Cat, Weasel Commander, Hawk Plunderer, Mercenary, the Toad Governor, Battle Bat. Those are just some awesome names.
There's some pretty cute things.
And the game is pretty balanced. I mean, we really just picked a bunch of cards, and I picked here, picked there. There's definitely some situational, like, hey, this is really good when you do this. And it's not really that complicated.
But some of those things are a little harder to pull off, too.
Yeah, they are. But when it happens and it comes off, and you're like, okay, like you've used the Blind Bat, it has like Blind Rage, and it will discard.
Yeah, I actually like the Blind Bat quite a bit. His ability is, he has got a +1 for offense and a +2 for defense. But if you don't use him in an offensive or defensive way, you can instead play him on your turn to return the top card of your opponent's deck. And if the card costs 4 or more, you have to return the Blind Bat to the supply. But I've done it to Nick several times. And I've done it in a calculated way. I tend to do it early in the game because then he probably has...
That was like one of the first cards you picked up.
Yeah.
He
probably has like lower value cards in his deck, so it'll be more effective.
I've been buying lower value cards. Like I like Battle Bat a lot. You can play it, and if you use him as a 5, you can make it so that instead of being a 2, he'll be a 5, and he'll do more damage just by himself. And if you even add 1, we found that like at 6, kind of 6 damage, it's like hit or miss.
It seems to me that if you can deal at least 5 damage, you will likely
have a better
hit
chance.
Your opponent.
But it's not to say like you still get cards and you're like, okay, well I'll hit you for 2, knowing that there's a chance that there was one time I hit you for 3 and you were like sweating it.
Yeah.
And then you just drew the card you needed and you're like, okay, because you were getting your hand together. And it was close because at the beginning you can get a lot of acorns, you can get a lot of food. then all of a sudden someone attacks you for like
Yeah, and you have
two,
no
and all of a sudden
defense
it's
in
like,
your
oh
hand.
my gosh. But then when you start picking up cards, it's the game moves forward and it just keeps picking up, goes fast. We've been like zooming through turns. I do this, spend my cards. All right, your turn. I spend my cards, your turn. This, that. So it's a lot back and forth, and the game is going by very fast. Again, experienced game players. We are, we play some pretty heavy games. We play some
Well,
pretty
and
light
this
games.
is a very standard deck
Yeah,
builder.
yeah. And if you play a lot of deck builders, you will understand this game like right off the bat. Like, okay, let's get into it. And so I've been enjoying it.
Even the battling is pretty straightforward too. So.
Oh yeah, and that's just such a bonus, a plus to the game. Is it's pretty easy to pick up. Rules are pretty simple. I wish there were some more pictures in the rule book, but other than that, it's pretty quick. In this set, I'm always a fan of player aids. There isn't one here, so it is what it is.
I don't know that you need one in this game though. There are aids for every category, so if you wanted to leave this out, it tells you. Yeah, it tells you what they do exactly.
And they also double as card dividers when you put them back in the box, which is pretty nice. And you can go ahead and actually start like thumbing through instead of like with these dividers you can thumb through pretty quick and then make up your 12. And like I said, replayability is there. There's a honey that's not out right now. That's another food.
I think that's for a higher player count, right?
I'm not sure, but. Again, having a lot of fun with this one. We've been playing a lot of games lately, and this is just one that has...
It's really casual and laid back,
really
but it's pretty cute, too.
Yeah.
And I like it.
Yeah, it's really, really enjoyable. So we're going to go ahead and get back into it. It probably won't be long before we go ahead and decide who the winner and loser are. And... it looks like Sarah is going to probably be the winner because I'm getting my face kicked in by the Weasel Commander. Weasel Commander is awesome. Let me just tell you, the Weasel Commander... Let's get a card here going on here. The Weasel Commander is just awesome. If you have a lot of cards that are using to attack, he gets a +1 for every other card. So you've had a bunch of Forager Squirrels at the beginning. If you just get a couple more, all of a sudden you and your Forager Squirrel buddies are just like, we ain't taking nothing. We're taking your acorns. She took a lot of acorns. So I was like, please don't attack this time. I had 3 acorns. And then she just was like, Weasel Commander. I was like, well, the Weasel Commander's coming out, so I'm getting my teeth pushed in. And all of a sudden, takes my acorns. And I just sit there crying and try to get my acorns back by some maybe roguelike way. I don't know. Maybe I'll get my own Weasel Commander. But yeah. So we're going to get into it. We'll talk to you guys when we get back from finishing the game. And we will talk to you guys later. Bye. Queen of the Forest. Battle Queen. Yes, nay, the Battle Queen of the Forest.
I didn't even battle successfully that much. I just constantly shoved food away for later, which is what I do all the time, so...
Oh my gosh. Yeah, she won our warm-up game and our recorded game, so it was this is a pretty good game. I quite enjoy it, and I'm excited to see what the other cards will do.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of content we haven't played with yet. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know, probably like a dozen more factions that we haven't gotten to play with.
Plus another food card that we haven't played yet.
Yep. And you play with 12 at any time, plus like the starter ones. So I'm not going to do the math on that, but like there's a great deal of potential combinations there.
Yeah.
I feel like in this game we played with in our practice game and this game we played with the same cards both games. Because this is the first time we've ever played, and we wanted to kind of get to know the cards a little bit, get to know the game a little bit before we change things up a lot. I feel like maybe there are a few key sort of strategies that players might fall into again and again and again, even though there's a lot of cards. That being said, there is a lot of replayability, so maybe there were just some good engine building things going on here.
Yeah, because I mean, the first game I played one way, trying to get a bunch of stuff, and then you were kicking my teeth in. And then in the second game, I was like, cool, I'm going to kick your teeth in. But then you were like, oh my goodness, like, what is going on? You still, like, won from getting all the acorns as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I feel like I said, maybe you might fall into the same strategy again and again and again if you played with the exact same set of cards over and over and over again. But with the number of card types in the box, I would assume that you could probably have some variety every time that you played.
Indeed. So. Yeah. So again, this was the Forest Fighters from, let me see, Real Deal Games. They sent us this copy over to do like one of our vlog videos on it, and we are very appreciative of that. It's we're getting a lot of games like that lately, and which is good. I like doing.
We appreciate all the publishers who are sending stuff to us to support the channel.
And even the ones that are, we have a couple more sponsored content coming in when the games come in, and then we still have other games that are coming in.
And we have a couple of special plans for games that we want to do on the channel for the upcoming holidays.
Yes.
So we have like some Halloween-esque games that we're going to be putting up in the next few weeks. I have one or two maybe for Christmas that I would like to show off.
And also we have some painted minis coming for some games.
We do. We have collaborated with an incredible miniatures painter. His name is Vernon Piper. And he agreed to paint some miniatures for us from our games. So we sent him the miniatures from our copy of The Godfather, Corleone's Empire from Come On Games, and all of our miniatures from Clank. And we had the miniatures from the Clank Legacy, the Upper Management, and C-Team packs, and I think that was it. And I am so excited. Vernon is well known in a sort of a niche part of the hobby to be like a very, very talented, very, very skilled miniatures painter. And I am just really, really excited. He sent us some photos the other day of sort of like work in progress type photos. And I am so excited that they already look incredible. And I can't wait to show you all. And I can't wait to be able to sit down and play with these. I'm really, really excited.
Yeah.
And Nick and I sat down and we talked about, Vernon had offered to do the miniatures from 2 games for us. So we sat down and we looked at our collection and we discussed which ones we were most wanting to have him do. And I'm really glad that we picked the 2 games that we picked, Clank and The Godfather. And I'm really, really looking forward to getting those back from him and seeing in person.
Sorry for that, folks. We just had a little technical glitch for when we were talking about Vernon and the collaboration that we're going to be doing with him. So continue, Sarah.
That's really all I have to say about it. I'm just really excited to see the miniatures that he's been working on for us. I cannot wait. I know that they're going to look amazing, and I know that they're going to elevate the table presence of our games. And they are just going to be really, really cool. It's going to be a really neat thing to have in our collection. So I'm very excited. So I would say keep an eye out for updates on that. When he sends them back to us after they're completed, we'll do like a whole video on those showing off his work there. And then we'll do a few videos where we actually use the pieces in the games. So we'll set up games and we'll play games with the painted miniatures. And then, like I said, we're also planning to do a few special sort of games for the upcoming holidays. And we would love to be able to do that on like a live stream or something like that. But unfortunately, we live out in the middle of absolutely nowhere.
Not absolutely nowhere. Just the internet companies are like, meh.
Yeah, there's only one internet company that provides any service out here, and we have their top tier package, and
it was garbage.
It's not good enough to stream on or do any sort of live things or anything like that.
But hopefully in the future, we've got some housing development happening around our location, so maybe...
Which is not, like, my favorite thing. I kind of like living out in the middle of nowhere with no neighbors or anything like that. But maybe it'll bring some better internet our way.
So yeah, we can hope. But yeah, so this was, again, Forest Fighters from Real Deal Games, and we appreciate them sending us this copy. And so yeah, keep an eye out for them. And you can go ahead and check out at realdealgamesllc.com for more information on the game. And yeah.
It's really cute. I like it. I think it was fun and it was easy to pick up on, but it was interesting to play. I think the artwork is really cute. It seems to be well thought out. It doesn't seem to be like broken in any extreme
Yeah, we didn't
way
break
or
the
anything
game in the
like that.
first couple plays, so it was really nice. And plus, like, really with us, like, just picking randomly, like, of what we wanted to play with. And
Yeah.
it was like, it still worked. So that
If
was
you
pretty...
like deck builders, if you like sort of head-to-head conflict, if you like anthropomorphic characters, I would check this one out for sure.
All right. So until next time, until our next vlog, we'll see you guys later. Toodles!